All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Listen, this episode has been highly requested. You guys keep hitting us, yo, we want to see more of the inside Nelk stories. We want to hear more from the people that are a part of Nelk. All right, if you ask for it, we get the fucking job done, all right? Aaron Steinberg, Steiny, the Steininator, Young Steiny, fucking...
Sir Steinberg. Sir Steinberg. We got him. You want him, we got him.
Yeah. Big EP. Let's get the fuck... Yo, I'm not even going to just keep talking, all right?
Yeah.
Let's get into this episode. Let's go.
They know that I go flip mode when I bust the rhymes. Man's on a different thing, man, I told him 100 times. I did a bunch of crimes, and none of them were done for the vine. So you can take that bullshit and stick that where the sun don't shine. The summer's up, it's about to get real cold. Late nights in the studio with the bros.
Welcome back to the MBH podcast. Money buys happiness. Guys, before we get into this episode, you know what you got to do. Like, subscribe, do the fucking duties, comment, this, that, whatever. Yo, we got a fucking EP that you guys have been asking for.
Y'all wanted it. Y'all wanted it.
We read the comments. We see what you guys want. We try our best to make it happen. And today, we are making it happen. All right? We got the man, the myth, the legend.
What's good?
Mr. Steiny,
I'm
what's going
flattered.
on,
Sir
bro?
Steinberg.
I'm flattered. How many comments?
Dude,
Too many.
too
to
many.
be honest.
Really?
Straight up.
Before or after Gabe?
No, it's been happening.
Oh, nice.
Like just throughout the whole time.
Dude, I've been waiting to get on here. You guys
For
have fucking
real,
Gabe on before me. It's like, what the fuck is
That
that?
was just a scheduling thing, you know what I mean?
Everyone's like, yo, get Steiny on, get Steiny on, get Steiny on. So,
Nice.
No,
Happy to make it
Gabe's
happen.
was a heater too, though. That was good.
Yeah?
Everyone loved that one.
I haven't watched the whole thing. It's hard for me to watch him for that
Yeah.
long. But I've seen clips, bro. And he's funny. Gabe's funny and like
Yo,
he
his
works hard.
story's
So.
crazy too.
Yeah. We bring up Target sometimes.
Yeah.
We were in Asia just now.
yeah.
And the guy's fucking sitting there and we're talking about like how crazy this trip has been because we were fucking partying there.
Yeah.
And Gabe just goes, dude, like the Target happy hours, we used to go up to the mountains with a bottle and we were like, dude, are you serious right now?
Fucking retarded.
Yeah, we were just like, bro, are you like, even Kyle was like, dude, are you really trying to compare that to what we're doing right now? It was hilarious. So
Well,
yeah.
talking about come ups, we definitely want to know about yours. I know a lot of people know who you are now.
Yeah.
But we want to go way back
do it.
and just see that we like to see people's come ups, you know, and I think based on what we currently know, and obviously we watched some pods and stuff like that you were on, got a sick come up, bro. So maybe bring us back to like when you were a kid, you know, and how life was, like how your family was, how your environment was, what you were doing at the time.
Yeah. Like how far? What age?
Man, whenever you
2
think
years
is
old.
whenever you think is a good place to start with,
Where
you know?
does everybody else start at?
I mean, like
I was gonna say,
Eight's
like
too
teen.
young.
Usually it's like teen, like,
Yeah, like-
high school experience.
I think yes. I mean, Mickey started what 11. That's just because he was selling
He was
drugs.
doing drugs
Yeah,
at
so he
11
had a
years old.
reason to start at 11. So
Who,
whenever
that
you
guy,
think,
the gambler,
Yeah.
he said he started drugs at 11.
He was-
started drugs at
he was
11 and
snorting.
started selling them at 12.
He was snorting at.
Yeah.
at
What was he
11.
doing? What was he doing at 11? Like weed?
No, he was
he was doing
snorting
like the hard
snorting-
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm calling cap.
I don't,
no.
no.
When you sit
11
down with
years
him, like,
old?
yeah, when you sit down with him, like he's not like you look into his eyes and he's not capping, bro.
Fuck,
I mean,
man.
look at
That's
the face
fucking
tats
young as
and you
hell,
know.
bro.
So like it doesn't have to be
I wasn't
11.
doing that at 11. I'll tell you right now.
But maybe when you know, you started to maybe realize things that you like doing, things that you're inspired by, maybe when you were in school, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in Colorado in Denver, just south of Denver, so like 20 minutes south of Denver. My brother, my sister, my parents.
You're the oldest?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I was probably like 14, going to high school, just normal kid. That was my first year in high school. My family had just moved into a new school district.
Okay.
So I like had to be one of those kids that goes
new
into
kid.
the shit, like the new kid,
Yeah.
like whatever. Which wasn't that bad. Like I made friends quick.
Okay.
But yeah, man, our high school had 4,500 people. So it was fucking
fuck.
really big.
Wow.
Yeah, it's called Cherry Creek. It's in Denver. And I mean, I had a good time, but like, dude, high school is like a tough place too.
Yeah.
And when it's
Of
that
course.
big, there's just so many fucking. It shouldn't be that big, straight up.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
lot
Like
of
it's like a
people.
little college, bro, like a private college.
Yeah.
And it was whatever. I mean, I started like drinking and smoking like sophomore year, and just kind of fucked around, honestly.
Yeah. Were you like into sports or anything? Like were you doing?
So I played like for fun, like recreationally, basketball. Then
Dope.
played for the school, lacrosse, and tennis.
Yeah.
And at that point, did you did you have an idea like what you wanted to do?
Dude, I had no idea.
Okay.
Never crossed my mind.
Just going
once.
with the flow.
My goal in high school was always get to college.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about like your environment? Was anyone like, oh, you should do this. You should be this.
Yeah, my whole life, bro.
Yeah, for real.
So, yeah, I mean, my people know that my dad's like a lawyer. So
Okay.
he's a criminal defense attorney.
Sick.
So he does really well.
Yeah.
And so like there was just pressure from him, a lot of pressure from him, and just to be successful or do what he's doing. You know, which honestly it kind of fucked me up. Yeah. And then like probably junior or senior year, my parents started going through it. They got divorced.
Okay.
And our family kind of just like split.
Yeah.
And so it was really fucking bad timing and pretty weird.
So that's why you were in high school?
Yeah, while I was in high school.
Damn.
Which I mean that shit
It happens a lot, bro.
Yeah,
it happens
it's
to
common.
everyone.
It
almost,
happens,
bro.
But I realized too, like there's some that are good, and there's some that are like there's levels to it.
Yeah.
Was
You know?
yours bad? Like was
Yeah,
it
was really
with your
bad because it was
family?
really, really unexpected, and like
Okay.
I don't know, it just divided our family a little bit, you know.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So then that goes down, and then I was just like, fuck this, I'm gonna get to college and not give a fuck about whatever, you know,
What
just focus
happened?
on myself
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's
Which is the best thing to do.
which
to
is
be
what
honest.
you're doing
Yeah.
when you leave the house to go to school, you know what I'm saying? So I went to CU Boulder, which is like fucking probably 40 minutes from where I grew up, but it feels like you're in a different state. Like it's not one of those like drive home, whatever. Freshman year, fucked around completely. Sophomore year, picked it up. But I mean, I partied a lot in college.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I just never wanted to, at that point, never wanted to think about what was next because I was so scared that like
It wasn't like gonna. Be
I wasn't
the
gonna be
right thing.
successful
Yeah.
or like I wasn't gonna like be the
when
right thing.
when your family kind of split, did that pressure come off you after? Like
It made more pressure on
Wow.
me because then it was like fuck, like if anything happens with my bro and my sister, like I gotta help take care of them
Yeah,
type
the
thing.
older sibling. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
That's
yeah.
a lot of pressure, man. At
Yeah.
that age.
So at
Yeah.
that point you're in school though, but like what are you there for anything important? Like what are you taking like?
I was a history major,
Okay.
which is kind of like called like a prequel to if you go to law school.
Okay.
It's usually business, political science, or history.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just took history and like, not until like my junior or senior year, I really like was like, okay, dude, you gotta fucking get your grades up and really focus if this is what you want to do. And it just wasn't something I wanted to do at all, bro.
Yeah.
It's something where everybody else wanted me to do that.
Yeah, facts.
And it made me fucking hate it, to be honest.
That's
with
what
you.
happens though. Like the more you're pushed towards something, you just,
fucking
despise
hate
it after.
Yeah, I was like, just dude, like, let me do my thing. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care what you think I should do. And
Yeah.
there was a lot of people telling me all the time, and it just fucking, it started to drive me crazy.
So at that point, like, are you at that point realizing maybe I want to try this, maybe I want to try that? Like, when do you start breaking away from that?
Honestly, dude, I just disregarded it.
Yeah.
Like, I would just tell people, like, yeah, bro, that's what I'm going to do. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Just so it'd be like, yo, a nice way of being like, fuck off, bro.
Yeah.
Fair.
Stop
You know?
asking kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that probably like when I said my junior year, I started to get into like gambling too.
All right.
And so I started playing poker, a lot of online poker, and
Okay.
then just like betting on games and stuff. And that was something that like my dad, and I think maybe even his dad, like had always like played cards or some shit. Because
Okay.
like when I was 11 or 12, like that's when I started playing like Jim Rummy, Texas Hold'em, Omaha,
So
Pineapple. Like I learned every
Oh
game.
shit, you've been gambling for a while. All right.
Yeah, no, but like 11, 12
yeah.
is when I learned how to just play cards.
Okay.
and
Cool.
your family taught you that.
Yeah.
Sick.
And then when I was about, that like 18 or I was probably like 19 and 20, I started like actually
Like
playing.
picking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you always play like, I don't know if you ever played on like the apps where you could play for fun.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
it's
course.
still
Easy.
fun.
Yeah,
but
it's
then
addictive,
you're like,
to be
all right,
honest.
fuck, I'm going to start actually playing for money.
It's
and
gotta
see
be
how that
real
goes.
money. Yeah. I hear you. Okay, so do you graduate school? Okay.
You finished.
Yeah, I finished in 4 years.
Okay.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah, thank you. It's a big accomplishment for me.
For real.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And then after, I was like, what the fuck am I going to do?
Well, now you had the history
Yeah, so
diploma
it was
or
like,
degree.
Yo, dude, law school or teacher, or like that's it, pretty much.
Yeah.
What the fuck else are you gonna do?
So what was that next move? You graduate, you get your fucking papers, all right?
I said, yo, fuck all this. I'm playing poker and I'm figuring this out.
Damn.
And so started playing in like cash games in Colorado
Okay.
and showing up, and then I found a bigger game and kind of started setting those up and playing in those games.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
that's-
set up your own games, like low key.
So yeah, I would just like set them up and then like put them together, and then we would have a game twice a
Lit.
week.
Okay.
So I did that for 2 years after college, and like just fell in love with it.
Was that your only way you're making money? or were you
I
looking at-
had a 9 to 5 too.
Yeah, what were you
Damn.
doing?
I did multiple different things. So I worked for AEG,
Okay.
which is like an entertainment company.
Yeah.
It's like a Live Nation competitor.
Okay.
So they put concerts on at all the venues in Colorado.
Yeah.
I did operations for them for 6 months, and then quit. Worked at a real estate firm for about a year.
Okay.
And I just fucking, I couldn't find anything I enjoyed doing, bro. And something that I think that people are wrong about that was different for me is people are always like, dude, you have to be there for a year, or you really got to just grind it out and tough it out. And my attitude was like, yo, if I don't like this, then fuck that. I'm not going to waste any more time and find something else.
Which I think is a smart way.
No one says that.
No one wants to
No
say
one
that.
tells you that because they want like to scare you. And it's like, dude, just the whole time that I would be at one of those jobs, I would still be working on something just in case it didn't work out.
Yeah.
So I could go right into something else.
And like 6 months is enough time to figure out if you like something. That's actually more than enough
100%.
time. It might only take you like 2, to be honest.
I honestly like saw that somewhere, like one of those like motivational things, but somebody said that and it like hit different for me. And I was like, yeah, this guy's right. Like, why waste your time? People get caught up in something for 3 or 4 years and be like, yo, I'm so unhappy.
Yeah.
And then they actually stay because they're like, okay, well, what am I going to do now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which
Which
is
is,
so
if you think
long.
about it, it's kind of wild.
So you're like an entrepreneur too. You were
Yeah,
doing your
I
own
mean, I
thing.
guess, yeah.
the hosting the games and
But
stuff.
the hosting of the games actually outweighed any job I'd done, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And so that also probably made me not as focused on my 9 to 5s.
Yeah.
Fair.
So was there a point where you stopped with the 9 to 5s in general and just said, I'm going to focus
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
Probably when I was like 23. So probably like when I'd been in the game for like 2 years. Yeah. And then I was just like, dude, I'm dead. Because there were times when the game would go from like 6:30 p.m. to 7 or 8 a.m. Yeah. And then I would go straight to, I did it in college a little bit, so I'd go straight to school or I'd go straight to my job, and I'd just be like, yo, this is even more miserable. And I can do better from the games than I can from this fucking shitty job.
I think that's when people realize it, when their side hustle
yeah.
overcomes their
You say
9 to
fuck-
5. They're just like, nah.
Exactly, 100%.
So that's that. At what age did that happen for you?
Like 23.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was just like, fuck this, and just focused on the game. And then that was when I was at my real estate job, quit my real estate job, was doing the game, and then I was like actively looking on my next thing.
Okay.
And so I picked up like the LSAT, which is the test to get into
Yeah.
law school. I was like, all right, I'm committing to this. Didn't want to at all, but that was like a point in my life, and I think it's common for people when I was 23. Like, you're kind of, from outside perspective, like everybody thinks you're supposed to have it figured out.
Yeah.
At 23.
Yeah.
And looking
you know?
back now, when you're 23, it's like,
No, bro, that's what.
crazy.
And I'll meet 23-year-olds. I'm like, dude, you're at your first or second job. Like, chill, bro. You got
yeah.
a lot of
Which
time.
is a good mindset. Like, how did you even have that mindset? Because when I was 23, I was like, yo, like I gotta figure my shit out. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people do.
No, that's
so
how
did
I
you even
felt.
have that mind, like to get out of that? Because you had this
Um,
confidence to you too, where you're like leaving jobs if you didn't like it right off the bat.
Well, no, that's what it was, bro. It was
Yeah.
because I'm like, I'd be there for 6 months and I'd be like, okay, I'm not progressing like I should, or like I'm not at the point that I want to be happy here,
Yeah.
so I'm done. So it was like that pressure of like get successful very quick
Yeah.
was just like driving me crazy too.
And then, so you say at this point you're looking for your next, your next thing.
Well, yeah. So I took the LSAT
Yeah.
How was that?
to get into law school. It was a
You have to,
pain
don't you
in
have to
the
study
ass.
for like a
Yeah,
year?
I studied for like 6 months.
Holy fuck.
It was fucking brutal, bro. Took a Kaplan. There's like a famous like study program. Did Kaplan classes. Like, it was fucking brutal, bro. And I was
The
so
books are,
miserable
like,
there.
fucking like this, bro.
Yeah, I know. It was
I've seen
huge.
people that
Well,
study
it's-
it. They're just like textbooks.
and
Like
it's just dumb, bro. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you something too, because I used to go in and see like in a courtroom, because I did it a few times to see.
shadow the
Just
lawyers.
you want to
yeah.
see what it is before you commit to going to school for 3 years. You're like, all right, what the fuck's this actually about?
Yeah.
And bro, there's these guys that are really, really smart, right? That probably scored almost perfect scores on their LSAT, but they can't socialize.
They can't talk.
So
Yeah.
there's these guys that are like defending somebody for a fucking, robbery or murder or something, but they can't articulate to the jury,
Yeah.
which is like 12 random people,
Which is like the most important
which
part.
is the most important part. So I
Yeah.
always thought like, you know what, I might not get the highest score, but I can do that part. And that part's pretty important.
Yeah.
So then that's what made me go take the test.
Oh, you actually took the test?
Yeah, I took it.
Okay.
The school that I wanted to get into, CU, didn't get into,
Okay.
which fucking hurt. Put me down bad.
Damn.
Fair.
After studying
Drinking
and then-
for a
yeah.
couple weeks every night. But yeah, no, it was definitely like a punch to the face, and it was like more of an embarrassment too, because everybody's like,
Everyone
oh,
knew we were
you should
studying
be getting
for-
in there,
Yeah.
like look at who you're around, like, you know what I mean? Like, you should be going to this school, you should be going straight to the firm, all this bullshit.
Who were you hanging around with at that point? Like, who was your friend
Just the
group?
game. I had like one or two close friends I didn't
Okay.
really see, but
Yeah.
it was just the game. And then, dude, I was just like so focused on myself.
Dialed in.
Yeah, I was just like, and that's the other thing is, in Denver, especially when you go to school there, a lot of people just move back, and you kind of hang out with that same group that you've been hanging out with since high school. And I couldn't do that anymore.
Well, a lot of people outgrow that, to be honest. Like once you start deciding that you're going to take a different path than the people around you, like it's obvious that you're going to stop seeing them and stuff like that. I think that happens to almost everyone that decides, like, I'm going to do what I want.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
You know?
And that's, I think that's a trap, too, that some people fall into is they're like,
well, these are my friends.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to say it's like content, but it's more just like
comfort. It's
comfort. Exactly. So they just hang out with the same people, and it's like, my attitude was like, dude, I could move and try something new and, really, like, try and do something special. And I don't think that's going to happen here.
Like, the way you were trying new things at that rate.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, you're going to figure out what you like very quickly at that point.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I think you started figuring it out, right? So, you took the LSAT, you didn't get in.
Mm-hmm.
What's your mindset at that point?
Dude, I was down so bad.
Yeah.
Just, like, felt defeated. I was pretty depressed at that point because while I'm taking that LSAT and while I'm, like, getting ready to go, I'm telling people like what I'm doing, and they're all like, "Dude, you're gonna crush it!" Like, you know, what I
So you
mean?
felt like you let people
you're
down.
You're gonna get in with the breeze type shit.
Yeah.
Failed.
Yeah, and then I get that letter, and I'm like, "Fuck, I didn't get in." And I'm like, holy shit!
How am
what
I gonna tell
say?
people?
Yeah. There's 50 people out there that are telling me, "Yo, I can't wait for you to get started." And I'm just like, "Holy shit, I can't."
Yeah.
So I was down bad for like probably 3 weeks to a month, but then you just fucking.
You gotta snap out of it.
Pissed me off, bro, and I was just like, I don't give a fuck.
It's like a chip on your
Gives
shoulder.
you motivation too. Once you get over the bullshit, and then you're like, you know what, fuck this. It was like more like I'm gonna prove these guys wrong, and like, cause I take it personal.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Which is like, which that's actually very underrated. Everyone's like, yo, don't take shit personal. But if you're actually fucking grinding for something and you know what you want and you're a competitive person, it's in you. You take shit personal no matter what.
Hell
like,
yeah.
Small things, big things, whatever. So that's very underrated. I think it's actually
And
good
you have to
take
catch an
shit.
L too. You have to catch an L to figure that out
Yeah,
too.
No, but I think you gotta take that shit
Yeah,
personal, to be honest. Because if you're actually trying to just do better in life altogether, you take shit personal, it's gonna motivate you to keep doing better, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bro. And that's a great point. I'm glad you said that, and I think more people should take shit personal.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
Turn that anger into fucking motivation.
So okay,
it'll
you
help
take that shit personal, you don't get in
Yeah.
3-4 weeks of just like shitting on yourself in a way.
Yeah.
What's the next step from there?
So I'm still just doing the game.
Okay.
And then I had my college roommate worked at Amazon
Okay.
in Seattle in the headquarters. And he was just like a sales rep, but like he was making so much money. And he was like 23, right? Or he was 22, I think. He's a year younger than me. And he's the funniest fucking kid ever. Had like a cousin or whatever that was high up, like
Yeah.
pretty like easy way in. And he's like, yo, I'm gonna refer you. And so he refers me to this job, and like their shit's crazy, bro. Like
They got a crazy operation.
it felt like I was applying to work at SpaceX. Like it's
It's that serious,
So
eh?
you go through one Skype interview, and then once you pass the Skype interview, they fly you to the headquarters, and it's a 7-hour interview.
Oh.
It's 7 rounds of 1 hour with 7 different people.
Oh my! I was gonna say, how are you doing 7 hours? Seven
Yeah.
people, 1 hour each.
Yeah, it was fucking nuts.
And what?
bro.
They're asking you different things each person.
It's all like scenarios. It's like, so give me a time when.
Oh, which is the worst fucking
Yeah,
question.
and it's like, dude, I've just prepared for a month for this, like, and you think you have it all there, and then when you get there, it's
You just blank out.
Yeah, you just blank out.
Yeah.
But I thought I did pretty well.
Okay.
And then 2 weeks later,
Got
Hey.
the call. Hey.
there was another candidate that we liked more than you.
Damn,
And then,
bro.
yeah, at that point, it's just like on top of the roof at the house, like. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say,
No,
holy
stop
shit.
that. But I mean, like, you were trying though.
Oh,
You were
I
trying
tried really
it's not like
hard,
you just
bro.
locked yourself in your room and said, "Okay,
No.
fuck the world, bro."
I just kept trying with different shit, like.
Yeah.
And then after that one, I legit felt hopeless, bro. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck's going to happen? Like, what is going to happen in my life? And so 2 weeks later, it's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. My brother and my sister live in LA. And I said, yo, fuck this. I'm moving
What
to
are
LA.
you doing out there?
They both worked out here.
Oh, sick.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? Staying at my brother's house, sleeping on the couch. I'm moving to LA. I'm going to try something different and fuck all Colorado stuff. Like, it's not working for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
you tried your best at that.
Yeah,
point.
I tried my
Fuck.
best.
Yeah.
And so that day, bro, the day I'm about to fly to LA, my whole plan was to just go stay there for like a week or two and then casually just kind of like move in. Like, I had a few people I knew out there that were going to help me out. And so that day, my boy hits me up and he's like, yo, I'm going to the gym if you want to come. And he's one of the guys that played poker, right?
Okay.
So we're going and we're honestly shooting hoops. Like there's a basketball court, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna let you know, my buddy, this producer, BZ, is his nickname. His name's Brian Zurif. He does like the match. If you've ever seen the match where like Tom Brady plays Aaron Rodgers in the golf,
Yes.
that's his thing. And he produced Ray Donovan, another show on HBO. So he's friends with the guy I'm playing with, and the guy I'm playing with goes, "I want to let you know, right before you got here, my friend called me, and he works with this dude Bob Menery." And I was like, "Who the fuck is Bob Menery?"
Who the fuck is Bob Menery?
He's like, he's this up and coming guy. He's a huge podcast.
What
he
year
does
was this
voiceovers.
at? What?
This was 2.5, 3 years ago.
Okay.
So Bob had just started Ripper Magoo's the first time. And so yeah, he's telling me about him, and he's like, "I think it'd be a good opportunity for you." And the guy that I was with, I like really trusted, and he kind of like was helping me out and looking out for me. And so
Shout out that guy for real.
yeah, his name's Peter Jennings. He's a
Shout out
legend.
Peter Jennings,
Yeah,
bro.
He's a total legend. And just so you know, like he's a DFS player, and he holds the record for most money won in one day on a NFL day.
Come on.
Yeah, yeah. So he hit really big there right when it
Okay.
started.
Okay.
That's how he's kind of involved in like the gambling.
The gambling
scene.
world. Yeah.
And so he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna connect you. I think you can like make me look good, make yourself look good. Just take it serious."
Okay.
And so I fucking get on my flight. Right before I get on my flight, I talk to that Brian Zurif guy, the producer, and he's like, "Yeah, Bob wants to meet you next Wednesday." And I was like, "All right, cool. I'm coming out here. That's a week from today. Got time to chill and like figure out who this guy is." And so on the plane, I listened to like 2 or 3 of his podcasts, and like that was pretty much it. Like he had just done the Shaq one, and he actually had just done Kyle and Steve.
Oh, sick.
Okay.
And so I land, and I get texts. I'm in a group text now with Bob, and just firing texts.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy fuck,
He's
this
firing
guy's
them.
yeah. I was like, this guy's kind of wild. And I was like, "Yo, bro, like I'll see you next Wednesday. Looking forward to it." He's like, "Nah, fuck that. Let's meet tonight." And so I had just got there, bro. And that's
Okay.
Bob. Like he gets excited. I don't even know. It's
Yeah,
ADHD,
yeah.
and he's like, "Yo, let's do this right now."
And you had a plan to just chill for a week.
Yeah, and I was like, "Holy shit,
Yeah.
dude."
But like, hey,
Yeah.
take it where it comes.
Yeah. And so
What was it like when you first met Bob?
so he texts me and he goes, "Yo, come to this bar, Goal." And Goal is owned by Kevin Connolly,
Okay.
who's E from Entourage, if you've seen the show.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
And him and Bob were doing the Ripper Magoos together. And so I walk in. This is my first day in LA, bro. And no plan.
Never been before.
Never been. No plan. Fucking just like, yo, I'm going to try and work out here. I walk in this bar, and it was kind of weird, but I put on I had an Aria Las Vegas shirt.
Okay.
And I put on the Aria Las Vegas shirt, like a collared shirt.
Yeah.
And I walk in, and I see there's Bob and Kevin in 2 absolute smoke shows. Like
Just rockets.
chicks that you don't see in Denver. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like these are hot ass.
And
Like
you're like, I like LA.
I was just more like shocked. I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this?
Yeah.
So Bob steps away from the that booth, and me and him go sit at a bar table for maybe 5 minutes. He's like asking me like, "Yo, do you want a drink?" And I'm like, "Dude, is this like an interview? Like, what is this?" I was like, "This is a test. Like, he's testing me," and it's just like, "No, he's just trying to drink with you, bro." Like,
Yeah. Well, you were like, no drinks or some shit. 'Cause you
yeah.
didn't wanna- okay.
I was like, "Yo, this guy's definitely testing me. Like, he's smarter than I think he is." Like,
that was your
but I-
PTSD from the Amazon interviews.
Yeah.
The 7-hour one.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I'm sitting there like, yeah, no, this guy's a genius, man. So I didn't know him or anything about him yet. I didn't know he like was like that and drank like that. So me and him talked for like 5 minutes. He saw my Aria shirt, started talking about Vegas gambling, which he's a gambler. So we hit it off that way, and he of course hits me with the, "All right, yo, dude. So we got like 5 or 6 other candidates coming in. Like, this is a very very high like demand position."
There you go.
Definitely didn't meet with anybody else.
And you knew that right off the bat too.
Text me 20 minutes later, like, "Yo, what's good?" I'm like, "Yo, what's up, bro?"
Like, bro, I was just with you.
Yeah. I was like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "So should we do this?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, dude? Like, yeah, you're supposed to hire me."
Yeah.
And he called me. He's like, "All right, yeah, let's do this, bro. I want you to be at my place in Santa Monica at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Send me the address." I was like, "Yeah, I'll be there." It's like 11 p.m., maybe midnight. Bob Menery text, "Yo, what's good?" "Yo, what's up, bro?" He's like, "Do you know where I can get a couple Adderall, like Zaps?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Dude, I just moved here, no idea." And he just kept firing, like, "No, all good, but like if you could find him, that'd be great. Like for tomorrow, like I have to do my B-dubs reading, like whatever." And Bro, honestly, that was like the first time where I felt like, dude, this is pressure. You got to get it done.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I hit up everybody I knew in Santa Monica like a psycho. And my friend gave me one.
I love that though.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 a.m. Pulled up to my friends and he gave me one. And I pulled up at Bob's at like 8:39, gave it to him. And like at that point, he was like, dude, I love you.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy's legit.
Not because he was like, dude, the fact that you would do that, whatever, to get that task done.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like,
Which is not like a normal task
no,
for
it
someone.
was
you
random.
know?
It was crazy. And like, there's some people that might have taken that the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I didn't really take it as like, yo, this is crazy. I took it as like, yo, this is what he needs. I got to
needs
do
it.
it.
Just get it done. Yeah.
Yeah. And like seeing Kevin Connolly and seeing those 2 girls in the back of my head was just like, yo,
You're
there's
like,
really
yeah.
got to be something here, bro.
Yeah. This
'Cause-
guy's doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so got it for him that day. And then that day, dude, me and Bob hit it off. And we just fucking worked together for like a year. And it was some of the best times of my life. to
Yeah.
be
Like,
honest with you.
tell us about some of your experiences with Bob.
I mean, right out of the gate.
Yeah.
He fucking, I don't know if this was like his thing, but I think he kind of wanted to like show me he was the man too.
Okay.
Okay.
So those girls from Goal were always rolling with us. Like,
Nice.
we're going to catch 5-6 nights a week. Yeah.
Every night.
And if we didn't go there, we went to Craig's, which is another like bougie spot down the street. And so we were just going out every night. Like, I was
you were
like,
probably meeting so many people too at the
meeting
same
a
time.
lot of people.
Yeah.
And it was really cool for me. And something that he always had me, like a test for me, is anytime we went there, because you will see like athletes or whatever, influencers there anytime you go pretty much.
Yeah.
And he would like literally grab me and go, yo, go up, introduce yourself to them, and bring them over to meet me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You
so,
you would think like because it's a celebrity, it's like, oh, don't act like,
no,
don't
dude,
even say nothing to them, like leave them alone, kind of thing.
yeah.
He did the opposite.
He did the opposite, and like, because he didn't care, like
Yeah.
he wanted to meet everybody. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how he would put pressure on me. He was like, yo, can you get this done or not?
Yeah.
And so I had to get really comfortable really quick to like approaching people.
Which is like a hard thing.
Which
to
is
learn,
hard.
Yeah.
How are you approaching these guys though? Being like, hey, that's Bob Menry over there, and he wants to meet you. Like, what's?
I
the-
just wouldn't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
And
You
it depended
can't.
on the person. I would just walk up to him, dap him up, and be like, hey, my buddy over here, Bob Menry, just interviewed Shaquille O'Neal yesterday. We were with him. He's a big fan of you too. He wants to meet you and show him his Instagram.
Yeah.
And like people at that point, like
You could
it was
do
the
that.
same, but you could do that, and like Bob would have 3 mil or whatever on the gram, and they'd be, whoa, who is this dude?
Yeah.
fair.
you know?
They made it a little bit
Made
easier.
it interesting.
Yeah.
So they were like more curious.
Okay.
And then, like, obviously with the chicks, like when he had me go up to 2 smoking hot chicks or 1 girl,
That
like
must be like you were like fuck.
3M was, yeah, but it was say less. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
you're
come
gone.
take a shot right away.
So you think we're
Leave their date and come fucking to the bar with Bob. Like,
No, come
yeah.
on.
No,
I
that
can
didn't
only
happen.
imagine.
But
No,
they
no.
probably would,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
You think like working with him like really helped your confidence in a way then?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you telling people at that time like, hey, like I'm Bob Menry's assistant? Like, what's the title? Is there any like?
No, I mean, Bob also, like, puts everything that he does on his phone, right?
Fair.
So I had friends from back home and just people I knew around that would just see me in his stories, and like that's how people started to find out. But I mean, like, what I did. Is that what you're asking? Or are you asking like what I would tell people when I approached them?
No, I mean, I guess a little bit of both.
Like even like your fam and maybe people that from your
Yeah,
past.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if I would introduce myself, I'd always say like, it's way cooler to say, yo, I'm like his right hand guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Something
okay,
like
true.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
More
yeah.
than
Played
like,
off
yo,
like
I'm
that.
his assistant, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay,
You're
why
like,
why
okay,
are
well-
you talking to me and not him?
Yeah, facts.
Because
yeah,
people
true.
people react like that.
Yeah.
It's an ego thing.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
you're in LA too, so it's like,
Yeah.
I get that.
So what would be like the biggest thing you took from your role with Bob?
That's a good question. Probably that, bro. Probably just,
Yeah.
dude, don't give a fuck and just be confident and
Yeah.
go into any scene and just be yourself. And just, like, what that guy's, his greatest talent besides his voice, and he is, like, bro, he's the funniest motherfucker. Like, when I tell you that, too, because I lived with him for a year.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot that people don't see. And he's not trying to be funny. He's just, like, Bob.
just him.
you
Just
know?
who he is.
Like, I tell people when COVID happened, that first night when they were like, yo, we're going on lockdown, like, Bob treated it like it was a zombie apocalypse. Like, sent me to Ace Hardware or some shit. I was installing 8 cameras at the house. Like, he
He thought it was done.
He thought it was done, bro. Me and Scotty, who lived with him, are getting gallons of water. We had probably like 500 water bottles, bro. 15 pounds of brown rice that you can buy by the pound.
Yeah.
Like, we were never going to be able to leave the house again. Like,
That's crazy.
so yeah, so he did stuff like that, but yeah, to answer your question, yeah, just like, dude, the best thing he does is network.
Yeah.
He's really good at networking. For that first you know, a few weeks, those people love him, and then some people might get annoyed and be like,
too well.
bro, like, we haven't really met. You hit me up all the time, but at the end of the day, everybody loves Bob, bro.
Yeah, you could tell. You could
Yeah,
tell.
He's his own personality, man. And even like with not giving a fuck, I feel like we've interviewed so many successful people, you know, and a common thing that most of them say, I won't say all of them say, most of them is say you can't give a fuck.
You can't.
You can't give a fuck.
No.
Which is crazy, you know? And like, imagine telling that to like a 20-year-old, you know? Like, you want to be successful? Just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, people say all the time, dude, like, don't give a fuck what people think about you. Yeah. But
So
people,
cliche.
there's people out there that say, yo, I don't give a fuck. Those people give the most fucks, you know? But that's something, like, I had to learn that quick, too, like, because, dude, the internet's tough, bro. They'll say some nasty shit, and you just, like, gotta just not give a fuck. And I think another problem is people take, like, the internet a little too seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
We have to remember, like, when you're a part of something like you're a part of now, right? Full Send, the podcast, the whole thing. No, bro, you're talking about tens of millions of people that are seeing this content, and you can't please everybody. And probably a massive percent of those people fucking hate their lives, and they're using like shit talking you and blasting you as a fucking way to make themselves feel
Well, they
better.
also
right?
might be in the position you're in.
sure.
Well, then that's the other.
You
aspect
can't blame
of it.
them, but it's like people will go the extent of like, oh, I'm going to do a hate comment because I want to be this guy. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, bro, I gotta be honest with you. Before I even got into this, I kind of was like that too, because it's so crazy. But you just from Instagram, from YouTube, from whatever, you just see what they show you.
Exactly.
They're never gonna show you any of the bad parts, right? It's always gonna be the dope stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And you have
That's-
huge experience with that too,
Yeah.
because Bob, Steve, like you've seen it.
Sure.
You see behind the scenes and you see what the video looks like.
Yeah, and I've also been like that, where
Yeah.
like maybe it looks like, you know, I'm having the best time, but deep down it's like, fuck, man, like I'm miserable
which is
right
tough,
now.
bro. Yeah.
So people is only, and I get that, like you see what you see, and you're only, it's just gonna, like, some people are gonna be like, fuck, like how lucky is that?
Yeah, look what
You
he's
know?
doing. He's
Yeah, but I
showing
can
up to a
appreciate.
podcast. Yeah.
I can appreciate that you're being honest, because a lot of people won't say that.
Yeah.
No, I live the best life ever. Oh, this is the best. I travel here. I do this. I have this car. I have that.
Sure.
But like, how many are actually going to be like, yo, I had a shit day. Yo, I had a shit week. Yo,
Yeah.
this fucked up. That fucked up. We did this and it was wrong. I did that and it was wrong. Right. So not many people in your position
Yeah.
that are living this type of lifestyle will actually be honest in that sense.
I think
right?
when people be like, that's when you become real online too, you start showing like maybe, you know, not the best time or an L or something like that. That's when people start to relate.
Yeah.
When you're just showing the perfections, that's when they're like, oh, this must be too easy for him, or he got lucky or some shit
Oh,
like
of course,
that.
yeah. Well, that's, dude, like I'm obviously very grateful and I love what I do a lot. But I'm saying there's just like a lot of situations where everybody's going through some shit. You
Facts.
know?
Yeah.
It's facts.
Like, so if you're following someone and they're pissing you off because they're fucking at Burning Man or some shit and you're at the office, like, I guarantee you there's some shit that person's not too happy about, but he's never
course.
going to show you that. you
yeah.
know?
It's facts.
So that's just
I'm not
something.
gonna show you the hangover the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever else I got going on.
Bed just fucking
Yeah.
losing it.
So how do you make the transition now from Bob to working with Steve now? How does that go down?
Yeah. I've talked about this a lot, and people, I feel like I've said it so many times and people still don't even know, but
Yeah, to be honest, because we watched probably every podcast you've been on, all the raw talks and stuff like that.
oh, thanks.
I don't know if there's been like a solid answer. So maybe you can give that today.
I'll give you the solid answer right now. So
All right, guys, we are back. I gotta give you some knowledge right now, okay? Everyone likes to work out. Everyone likes to get jacked. Everyone wants to have a nice chest. But no one wants to recover. And this is something I learned too, you know? You gotta recover or the workout's not even worth it, you know? So this is what we got for you here. Vanilla protein. This shit is amazing. As you can see, it's open. I carry this shit around with me all day because I'm just drinking it. I need to recover all times. Can't be sore. And we got the BCAAs, okay? This is one of my favorites. You take this while you're working out. I like to do that at least. Mix it in with some water, you know? You rip a nice set, boom, take a sip. Set, sip. You guys can get these at supplements.co, all right? Use our code MBH15. Get yourself a little discount. Let's get back to the episode.
me and Bob, I was at about a year with Bob at this point.
Okay.
And, you know, me and Bob are like boys, but there's some stuff that gets frustrating sometimes. Like, you know, it's hard to explain, but when you spend that much time with somebody, like, it's not a normal job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I spent 7 days a week, 24/7 with Bob. Like, we lived together. I still did anything he ever wanted. And so you get to a point where you know, you really want to just take off, and you know, you might have different opinions on what you want to do.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of at that point a little bit. Like, we were running one of our podcasts. So after Open Reviews, we did Zapped, and that one was actually me, him, and Scotty was our producer, and he was also on the mic. And
You were a host on that one?
yeah.
Yeah, I saw a couple episodes.
Yeah.
You guys did like Tony
And
Hawk
it was fun,
and a couple
bro.
dudes. Yeah.
But we just didn't have like Full Send and Nelk have a very unique situation where they just have a monster platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we didn't quite have that, and we were trying to like have it take off, and we finally had a way to make that happen, and we just disagreed on that, and so that kind of happened. With me and Scott were on one page and Bob was on another, right?
Okay.
Fair.
Which is okay, and shit happens.
Yeah, yeah. It's
But
life.
Bob goes out, gets fucking zapped, of course. I don't know how this happened, but he fucking talks to Kyle. Bob comes home and he's like, yo, I'm going to Abu Dhabi for the UFC in 3 weeks.
Okay.
But I was like, what do you mean you're going? Like,
What about me, bro?
no, and he had a +1, and he's like talking about taking this girl. And I was like,
Okay.
this is when me and him like started to get into it. And I was like, Bob, like, this is a big business opportunity for you. Like, it's peak COVID. Dana's flying you guys out. No one's gone there. Like, I think you should take this a little more serious.
Yeah.
And so he was going to take me, him, and the girl. I didn't care really if he took the girl, it's like whatever, but I just don't think like you're not there for that. You know, you're not there to have
you
a good
didn't
time.
have your
Like,
priorities straight.
this is really cool. Like, you're going to Abu Dhabi peak COVID a week before the fight, so you know you're going to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then Khabib's fighting Justin Gaethje
Yeah, it's huge.
on Abu Dhabi Fight fucking Island.
Yeah, Fight
And
Island,
I'm like,
yeah.
bro, this is a big fucking moment. And he's like, yeah, I know. And so we lived with this other guy, right? Random dude, great friend of mine, random dude. Bob goes, yo, I'm going to take him instead of you. And I'm just like, dude, for what, bro?
Yeah, like, why?
And it just didn't make sense, but like he would just do shit like that.
Okay.
Like
piss you off?
he's the man. I don't know. I never could figure out his.
Yeah.
I just don't think that he ever thought like, oh, yo, he would want to go to this. Like Bob doesn't really think.
He
that.
doesn't think that, yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, yo, I'm going with the Nelk boys, whatever. And then he's like 2 weeks up. 2 weeks prior to the trip, he's like, yo, I don't have a passport.
Oh my god.
And you're like, fucker.
I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Like, this is something you say ASAP, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's peak COVID. And so he was like, yo, if you can get me a passport, you can come with. And so I just called everybody I knew. Someone helped me out. We got an appointment.
You got a link on passports?
And then he got his passport.
Like,
You mean a lot of people, bro.
crazy,
Yeah, I can
bro.
imagine in
You
that
meet a lot of
lifestyle.
people.
Yeah.
And so we went, flew somewhere, got his passport, and we were good to go. And then me, him, and the random, whose name is Garrett, who's a friend of mine, great dude, he came too. And
You're just saying random because he didn't work with Bob.
yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like he just
yeah.
wasn't on our team, so it was just once again like, bro, like we're going meet Dana White, Fight Island.
Yeah.
Like let's make this more like professional
business,
business wise.
yeah.
Like there's a big opportunity that could come.
So
from
you were
it.
actually being a good influence towards him, yeah.
Well, you see what the UFC partnership has done for Full Send and
course,
Nelk
of
and
course.
vice versa, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, thank God they went on that trip. So we flew out there, quarantined for like 4 days, and then we finally get there, and then Bob leaves. He's there for 18 hours and then leaves that day. Has a freak out and leaves.
What do you mean
Okay.
has a freak out?
I still can't figure it out. To
Like
this
he just
day,
has
bro.
freak outs?
Like he just wasn't comfortable being there. I think
Okay.
like it was just such a like,
Overwhelmed?
different country, and it's like a culture shock maybe. But
Yeah, I was gonna say because I didn't
it took us
see.
18 hours to get there.
Oh my god.
He's there for like less than that.
Oh
Hops
my
on a plane and
God,
flies
bro.
back, bro.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I didn't see. I don't remember seeing him in the vid. Like he wasn't in the Nelk vid.
No, because he dipped before.
Yeah. Fuck.
We weren't allowed
that's-
to. He dipped before we were allowed to see each other because we had to quarantine there.
quarantine,
So
yeah.
we hadn't even seen each other yet.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So he just calls me. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna go back to Boston. Like, you can come or you can stay. It's up to you."
Wow.
And at that point, I was just like so over it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay, bro.
Of course,
Like,
but what an
fuck it, I'm gonna
opportunity.
stay. Yeah. And so I ended up staying, and then I hit it off with Steve, like right away.
How'd you guys like link up? Like how did the first
Well, we were-
interaction go? You just died.
I just, dude, I started making like kind of like just joking around like content out of it. Like he would be like, "Yo, I need a cigarette. Like, can anybody give me one?" And I'd just have a pack and like pull one out and then just like light it for him. And like that Garrett dude would have a video of it, and like I was fucking with Bob,
Yeah.
like being like, "Yo, like Steve's the man." Like just fucking
Like
with
see
Bob.
what see me helping.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
see
whatever my guy needs, I got him.
that. Yeah.
And
And is
then
Bob seeing that at that time?
Yeah, he started like he was getting a little worried. I think that he knew it was gonna happen, but
Yeah.
Me and Steve, I remember we were on the back of the golf cart going back, and I was like, yo, dude, we had just left a day club, so we were like a little buzzing.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I'll fucking come work for you right now. Like, I was like,
And he didn't have anyone with him at that
he
point.
didn't.
Oh, so you
And
pulled the fucking the Wolf of Wall Street, like, show me how much money you're making. I'll quit my job.
I didn't
right
even
now.
need to see that. I was just like, dude, I don't
You
care
didn't
what
need
your
to.
situation is. I'll come work for you right now.
Okay.
And you knew about Steve obviously before the trip.
Yeah, and Kyle. Like,
Yeah.
and I'd met them a couple times, and I just, dude, I went out there and I just saw how focused they were.
Yeah.
Like, it's really crazy.
dialed, bro.
It's really crazy when you go. I'd never seen. I'd seen the vlogs, right? But I'd never seen them live, like getting filmed, and
Behind
like
the scenes vibe.
behind the scenes, right? And like, I go out there and like I see how serious they take this shit. Like,
That's what you wanted though. That's
and
what
I-
you're trying to
and
get
it-
Bob
and
to
it-
do.
No, yeah, and it just like immediately I was attracted to like what they were doing. I was
You
like,
gotta respect it.
yeah, and I was like, whoa, why am I not a part of something like this?
Yeah.
And so I had that talk with Steve, and he was like, we got to get Bob's like blessing. And me and Bob had a conversation probably like for 40 minutes the night of.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like told him how I felt. And he was, in the beginning, he just like was like, what the fuck? Like, fuck you. And then he came around, and then he was 100% supportive. Like,
He understood.
he knew, he was like, dude, I'm going to be a little salty. Like, it sucks. Like, you're my guy, but I understand.
Yeah.
And so he gave me his blessing and could not have been like more supportive about it.
What do you think Steve saw in you from the jump?
I think he just thought I was funny.
Yeah.
To be honest, like me and him just kind of got along pretty well.
Yeah.
And also like Selena was doing her stuff. Like she had just started her OnlyFans, which was popping off.
Yeah.
And so she needed help too.
Yeah.
And I kind of like finessed the game a little bit and was like, yo, I know a lot about that shit. I can help you with it.
Dope.
And they're like, all right, that's great. And so I had to immediately call fucking like one of the chicks that used to hang out with Bob that did OnlyFans and be like, yo, tell me everything you know. Like, what is this shit about? And so I started helping her out.
Dope.
Did that for like 2 months, and her shit was going crazy, doing huge collabs. And then just like through me and Selena just like worked a lot together. And then I started to like be around Steve more.
Yeah.
And this was like a weird time in their relationship, and I like, you know, bullshit happens, whatever,
course.
who knows.
Yeah.
And then me and Steve just like immediately like
Like he wanted a friend.
he hit me up and he was like, dude, like I'm fucking gonna go crazy on my YouTube right now. And I just gave me some shit to do. And so we did the first few videos and they went really well. And then me and him just, dude, grew like a huge bond and a great relationship. And we had the same goal. Like it was like,
Yeah.
yo, let's make this channel the biggest channel we can in the world.
Yeah.
Like, let's go fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And like uploading every week with just a 3-man team is not easy, bro.
I was gonna say, man. You
And-
guys just had 3.
And at the scale we were doing
I was about to say, you guys, and like that was a time where, yeah, his channel was the fastest growing on YouTube, and everyone was waiting every fucking week. I'll testify.
yeah.
I was one of those people. We were. That was waiting every week to see what the fuck he did next. So for
Yeah.
you to be a part of that in that moment,
Yeah.
I can only imagine, again, being on the back end, seeing what really goes into these videos.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy.
It was crazy, bro. And like Steve's just so funny and to be around, like it just makes it. And dude, like he also has this mentality where he's like, I'm gonna do what I want, but everything he does is like really cool or like you know really funny, and he doesn't care.
Is he calculated? I have to ask.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah?
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
bro. Oh,
Because
yeah.
it seems very, from the outside when
Like
you're watching these
natural,
videos,
just like-
it seems like it's just
Improv.
improv or
Yeah.
that he's just
Oh,
going
you're
with the
saying in that
flow.
way?
Yeah, I'm saying when it comes to those,
Like his
those
jokes?
videos. Yeah, like I don't know, you know what I mean? Like you always wonder, is it calculated to some extent? Is it just
No, I think
completely
a
free
lot of
flow?
it's improv, or maybe he'll like think of something on the way, like
Yeah,
while
yeah,
we're
yeah.
filming. I thought you meant in like what he does, like in terms of the content.
Yeah.
that's calculated. Like when
I
I'm
can
saying
imagine-
like he knows how well that's gonna do, or what this segment will do for the video, this title will do. Like he's
Cool.
calculated there. He knows what he's doing. Bro.
Yeah, how was the
Steve's
creative
smart.
side of that? Like coming up with the ideas and stuff like that. Was it
Yeah.
all of you? Was it Steve and then like you
No,
guys
it
were
was a lot.
bouncing?
It was honestly all of us. So it's me, Alex DiTomaso, who's Steve's
Yep.
editor.
Shout out Alex.
Shout
The
out
Go-
Alex,
the Go
the
editor
best
of
editor
YouTube.
on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Kills it, bro.
And the coolest fucking guy ever.
Yeah.
Me and him lived together, and then Steve lived above us when we moved to Miami. But we would just, all three of us would just come up with shit all the time. And like sometimes, you know, Alex would have a great idea. Sometimes I'd have a good idea. Sometimes, most of the time, Steve would have the best idea, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way that I knew that he had the best idea too was he would call me or Alex and say, this is what we're filming. Be in the lobby in 2 minutes. And
just like that, eh?
just like that, and he would know what he was gonna do,
Crazy
and we would just go
confidence,
film
too.
it ASAP,
Yeah.
or like I think about the first time we picked up Sugar Sean, like the first time we ever linked with him, was the fucking craziest day. And he said, I was like, yo, what are we doing for this week's video? And he literally goes, bro, just trust me on this. I got this. So we go pick up Sugar Sean O'Malley from the airport 2 hours later. And this is before Sugar had done any, like,
He wasn't really popping
content.
yet.
Like,
Yeah.
he was popping in the UFC, but he wasn't on that, like, content
off
side.
UFC, yeah.
Yeah. And so we go and pick him up. Start drinking with him in the Sprinter, and Bradley's there too. Straight to the 6'9", played in a recreational baseball league, bro. He wore like a face mask, so you couldn't see who he was.
We was just
But
in
we
a
know,
random league.
yeah, we knew who he was.
That's amazing.
And he's playing like, you know, he's got like what I'm wearing right now, like an
Yeah.
all black like sweatsuit, and then a face mask, so no one can identify him.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
So we go with Sugar Sean there, and we go to his baseball game, and then go back to the crib, and then we go to Timepiece Trading, who you guys have seen,
Yeah.
who's
Shout out
come on the
Neil.
show.
Yeah, we had
Shout
him
out
on,
Neil.
yeah.
And Steve goes absolutely crazy. He spends like $1 million buying jewelry for everybody.
Of course.
Buys me a Richard Mille, buys Alex a Richard Mille, and buys just everybody
Yeah,
shit. And
that's
we're just
insane.
like, bro, what the fuck is going
Was
on?
that the first time you saw him like spend that kind of
Yeah,
money?
the first time, and it was like it was crazy.
Yeah.
And like, but he got some sort of he gets like a high off of doing that
Giving
crazy
people
shit.
shit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
giving people shit. Like he gets some sort of like just fascination about it and seeing how people genuinely react to stuff.
Yeah.
Until we had a fucking party at his place, and he's giving away jewelry, and we're filming it. There's a bunch of girls there, and there's this tattoo artist there who's tattooing Sugar Sean.
What a
And
crazy vibe.
Yeah, crazy vibe. And then Steve goes and sits down, Sugar goes and sits down, and then 6ix9ine's tattooing Sugar.
Yeah, saw that.
Like, and there's a fucking party going on.
That's
and then
insane.
Were you like just in shock? Were you just
Dude,
like,
I'm
where the
just
fuck
like,
am I?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like that was probably the day that it really hit me. Like, yo, this is the craziest fucking thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there any moment in this at this point when you're working with Steve where you're like, yo, this is really my life?
Yeah,
Like,
that,
this is-
that day
That was
for
it,
sure.
eh?
That day, and because we went to the club after, had a great night, and then the next day, 6ix9ine gave Steve his McLaren, and you're just like,
saw that. Yeah.
all in one video. This happens. This is a span of like a day and a half.
Oh my god.
All this shit happens, and you're just like, what the fuck is this?
so overwhelming. You probably
Yeah,
like,
well,
can
it's
you keep up?
overwhelming, but it's also just like, is this real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it really feels fake at that point.
Like, bro, I was in Colorado trying to get a job in Seattle and fucking Amazon like a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
How long were you in Miami for?
I was in Miami for about a year and a half.
How was that move for you?
Yeah.
Like, how was that? How was just being?
So
in
we were
Miami?
here at OC, and we were crushing the videos. We really were, but you just kind of like it felt limited in California, especially with COVID, and
Yeah.
in Florida, South Florida, especially like
doing their thing.
COVID didn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Steve also owned a place there, and he was just like, "Yo, I want to move to Miami." Or I think he probably said, "We're moving to Miami."
Yeah. You're
And
like,
so
all right.
me and Alex just fucking got the Sprinter and drove to Miami that night.
Yeah.
And
How did you like Miami? What was like your first?
I mean,
thoughts
dude,
of it?
Miami was just crazy.
Yeah.
It really was, and I mean, it changed me completely as a person.
How did it change you? How did it change
It's just
you?
like, dude, you just move down there and you feel a little more grounded here because we had the whole team here in OC, and like there's more people kind of like watching over you and stuff. And then there, it was just like whatever you want to
It's
do
a
whenever you want
free-for-all,
to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we started going out a lot, like 4 or 5 nights a week for the first like month and a half we were there. And it was really fun, but like we were also getting a video up every week.
Yeah.
And
It's
every video we
business,
were
work,
putting
yeah.
out was fucking taking off.
Crushing it, yeah.
So the move actually, moving to Miami was probably the best thing that we ever did.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what do you prefer? What do
Miami.
you prefer? Yeah.
Same,
Yeah. Us
bro.
too. We're like that too. Miami,
It's really
bro.
fun. I mean, living there's very different than visiting there because there are a lot of distractions. It's very
Yeah,
fast paced.
Facts. Yeah.
Like what you guys, if you go visit there, what you do in 2-3 days, people are doing 20 days a month,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is a lot to be doing something like that.
Yeah.
True.
But I like the weather. There's obviously a lot of hot girls, and
Yeah.
like there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a very slow paced. So what I will tell you is like coming back from traveling, coming back here is a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Like
get to
when
relax.
You get to relax, chill, like nothing's really like on your mind. Going back to Miami, you go right back into it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
back
that
into
was
the
the difference.
heat.
But
Just going in.
Miami really just it was great, and
I think Miami's so inspirational. You know, like you go there and just like, man, Like you're looking around, you're like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, bro.
Like,
and
it's crazy.
But it's also very foreign, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of, like, people from Puerto Rico, from Mexico.
Yeah,
Like, it's just very different.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I fucking love Miami.
Yeah.
So you're working with Steve, okay? Now we have to ask you
Yeah.
the fallout with Steve, okay? If it is a fallout, if you want to call it a fallout.
Sure.
We don't have to call it a
Call
fallout.
whatever you
We
want.
can call it whatever you want.
Okay.
What starts to happen with Steve, and when did you know that you wanted to kind of go full time with the pod?
Yeah. I gotta think how long I was there at that point in Miami. It was probably like.
Because you were still with Steve, but doing the pod, right? Like there was a moment
Okay, yeah.
where
So
you were
we
doing
came
both.
back. We came back, I think in December, early December, and I think that we came back because we were doing like a Christmas photo shoot
Yeah.
for a Christmas drop. So we came back here, and Kyle was like, "Hey, Steve, we're gonna do an internal pod," and so it was gonna be, I think, him, Salim, Bob, and Kyle. So Kyle, Salim, Steve, Bob.
Okay.
And Bob, I don't think wanted to come down here. I think Salim was on that, but John had called me too, and he was like the first huge supporter of me doing it.
Really, eh?
Just being on there, yeah. And because he used to listen to Zapped.
That's what I'm saying.
So
you were
he's already
hosting that
heard
one.
you.
So he's heard like the camaraderie with me and Bob.
Cool.
And I think Kyle listened to a couple too, so he was starting to like see it a little bit, but John really saw it. And they decided like this is when Gabe was like getting his shots on the mic and shit. And so they were gonna put Gabe on the mic, and John was like, "Yo, let's put fucking Steiny on there and see what happens."
Yeah.
And so it ended up being me, Gabe, Steve, and Kyle. And I just fucking roasted the fuck out of Gabe for a
Yeah,
lot
you did.
of
I
it.
remember that episode. I remember that episode.
Yeah,
you
just
guys
roasted
went
the
at it for a
fuck out of
minute.
him. Yeah,
It
And
worked.
It was fun, and it worked. And then, but we also talked real shit with Kyle and Steve, and people had a good response to it, and like that I was on there, and I think that Kyle and John thought that there was potential to have me on there.
Yeah.
And then probably and Steve had no problem with it that time because it was like he was there and stuff. And so we went to Texas, did another internal episode, and then
And that was without Steve.
that was with Steve.
Okay, with Steve.
Yeah, and it went really well again. And then there was a guest, and I fucking can't remember who. I want to say it was Candace Owens.
It was
the first
Candace
one I
Owens,
did.
yeah.
And they
Went to
had,
Daily Wire. That's why.
yeah,
Yeah.
they had texted me. Kyle had texted me and been like, "Hey, bro, like, are you busy tomorrow? We do have an episode." And so I went and asked Steve. I was like, "Hey, they want me to do Candace Owens. Like, it's here. Do you mind if I fly there for the day?" And he was like, "No, go do it."
And by the way, that episode, I feel like you were the most prepared.
Yeah, bro.
I watched that. You actually kind of knew what
Well,
you were
that's-
talking about. Like, and I mean, the other boys were just taking it from a different angle.
Sure.
But I feel like you actually approached it from a more like political. You kind of had your shit set. I don't know. Maybe
Well-
it's because your first time and you're like, I need to crush this.
Yeah, well, that's for sure what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I kind of looked at that. So that was my first big opportunity, and it's like, dude, that's an opportunity. Like, if you do a shitty job, they're not gonna have you back.
Yeah,
on
you're
there.
done. Yeah, you're done.
So I was like, yo, I'm gonna be prepared and just fucking do the best I can.
Crush
And
it.
it went really well.
Yeah.
And
And the comments show it because like
Yeah.
we're big. Like we'll read comments of everything. Our own videos,
yeah, I just
other
stopped doing
people's.
that.
Yeah, it depends.
I'm sure we'll stop soon too.
But man, people I showed you love. I remember.
Oh, yeah.
People were loving like you being a third host.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
It makes
now,
sense
you can
now,
tell
bro,
me,
because
but-
like you like in the pods that you were in at the beginning, even now, like it seemed like you had experience.
Yeah,
It's
well,
crazy
that's-
you did. Like we did it. Like I didn't know that.
So
That's
when I
why.
was doing Zap, Bob never prepared for anybody.
yeah.
You know, he just was
Crazy.
himself. He was just himself and like his funny guy, and then he kind of leaned on me to do like more of like the
Really
background. Who
detailed.
is this guy? Like detailed questions that have to do with their life or what they do for a living. Like,
which is what you do now too.
yeah,
Like yeah.
So that kind of prepped me a little bit. But so we did Candace, and I think after that, I think I was here in Cali, and we did Pauly D.
yeah.
And it was another thing like, yo, Salim or whoever they wanted couldn't be on the episode. Can you do it? And it went really well, and people started to like the relationship like of me and Bob and like us going back and forth, and then me, Kyle, and Bob just like doing the interview.
Mhm.
And at that point, I just kind of knew like I think they're gonna start asking me to do more,
Okay.
and it became really hard, dude, because I knew I was gonna have to make a big decision.
Yeah.
For sure.
When did you first know that like you were gonna have to make a call?
I knew it because when we did Joe Burrow, right? We did
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, and we did a Steve video the day before. So we did Steve. I think it was the Walmart video where he beat out Shaq.
Yeah, he just
Yes.
spent. He bought
Where
everything.
he beat his spending. It might have been that one or it might have been the one before, but I just remember we did that video that whole day, And then I had to fly to Cincinnati to do Joe Burrow the next day at like 6 a.m.
And you're like, I can't do it.
So I slept for maybe an hour and then went to go do Joe Burrow. And we crushed Joe Burrow. Went really well. And then I just like, Steve had hit me up and I just kind of like had a feeling like, fuck, like if I'm Steve and I have my guy and I need him and he's doing a fucking podcast, I wouldn't be happy either. Like that's just
you were like living
how
two
it is.
lives at that point.
Yeah. And that's how it is. And I really thought, I was like, yo, I can do this where once a week I'll go fly in, do the episode, fly out. But it's just not.
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic, bro. And like,
you would be like mentally drained, dude.
Mentally drained, and then there will be that day where he wants to do something that day, and there's that conflict. Like, fuck, what do I choose?
Yeah.
Right. And so it was just a tough position. And after Joe Burrow, I just kind of knew and tried to make it so I could do both, and that wasn't an option for either end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just told Steve. He kind of honestly was just like
He
more
knew
like,
something.
yeah, he knew something was up, and he just kept telling me like, oh, just go do the podcast, and it just kind of happened. Just kind of like, dude, like.
Is that a sad moment for you?
Yeah, it was really sad, bro. It was. I mean, I remember I was in Mexico. This is actually when I knew the day of. I was in Mexico and we were doing streaming in Cancun, and they texted me and said, we're doing Dave Portnoy tomorrow. We need you there.
You cannot miss that one.
No, you can't miss it. And the thing is him and Bob had beef, and I knew about it, so they wanted me to play that role of like,
ask about that.
yeah, you gotta fucking get under Portnoy's skin and get Bob and Dave going.
Yeah.
So they kind of needed me for that role on that pod, and I had to tell Steve because I was going back a day before him.
Yeah.
And I just knew he was like, bro, what, like.
Yeah, make
It's
a
happening
decision
too
now.
much.
Yeah, to just like make a decision. It was hard because people are always
That's
like,
a
dude.
tough decision, dude.
People are always like, dude, like, how the fuck could you do that? Like, and it's just like, dude, it's
Nobody really
how can
knows
you-
until they're in your
No,
position,
they don't.
bro.
And it's like the podcast is crushing. They just did Donald Trump. Like, it's going crazy. It's a big opportunity. And then Steve's is a big opportunity too. And I
course.
love Steve as a person. Like, you know, that's the guy that first really believed in me. Like, Bob believed in me, but Steve took it to another level.
Yeah.
Gave me an opportunity that nobody else ever did.
He really put you on the map.
Yeah, he
Like,
did.
You as a
100%.
person. Yeah.
He changed my life completely. So that's why it was so hard.
For sure.
And so we had talked about it, and like at the end of the day, he was like, he was like, whatever, like
Business
he got
decision,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, dude, like, you do you, but like I'm gonna be focused on me, and you know, I think there's just times when you really gotta be like, I want to do what's gonna be best for me in my life,
Even if it hurts others sometimes.
even if yeah, and that's just the way it is, bro. You know,
Yeah. Well, going back to not giving a fuck.
and it was so hard, dude, because with Steve, like, me and him were so close at that point. Like, he wasn't
Yeah.
only like my boss, but something I kind of developed with Bob too is you just become so fucking close.
Well, you can
with
see
people.
it on camera too.
Yeah.
Like, you can see it when you're watching the videos and stuff. Like these guys have a bond.
Yeah,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And you're with these guys every
That's
day.
what I'm saying. You spend so much
24/7.
time with them that you just naturally like
Become
develop
boys.
something like that. You
Yeah.
know?
So you make the call. You have the chat with Steve, and you're like, okay, I'm on Full Send podcast now.
He actually pretty much made the decision for me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Because he just saw you not being able to make a decision. He's like, okay.
He was just like, dude, like I think he could tell that I wanted to do it.
and you couldn't tell him like really.
And I
straight
couldn't
up,
tell him
yeah.
because I was like, dude, there's got to be a way that I can do both.
You didn't
Like,
wanna let him down.
You want to, yeah, exactly. You want to like convince yourself, like, okay, there's a way to make it work.
Yeah.
And I had such a great relationship with Judd, who's on the LLC, and Alex, who's the
Yeah.
editor. Like, because you go through something like that with 3 people, and you guys just like really grind every week.
Yeah.
You know. So it's like, I'm letting them down too, type thing, and it was, dude, it was really the hardest decision I ever had. to
What we
make.
saw on camera, like on the vlogs and stuff, with like, you know, you and Steve in the same spot, and like people trying to be like, oh, like Steve, like look, Steiny's here, or like try to say what, like, is that all real? Like, is that?
I mean, dude, you gotta remember, like, the internet's the internet.
Of course.
Like, so.
You guys are feeding into, like, you guys are just feeding off. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, me and Steve talk all the
That's
time.
what I'm saying. You guys are
You
boys.
know, like,
yeah.
he was in Orange County the other day, and, like, I wasn't here, but, like, we're in a group chat, like,
Yeah.
making sure he's set up and shit, like,
Yeah,
take care of my
care.
boy. Like,
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so you make the jump. Now you're a full-time podcast.
Yeah.
Is that what your role is? Is that
yeah,
how you?
I've been doing the Nelk videos, too.
Yeah,
so.
obviously you guys took a trip to Bali, Thailand.
The other thing that was in the back of my head, too, is I really wanted to take, because, dude, being an assistant, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
so much pressure, and you have, it doesn't matter if it's 3 a.m. on a Sunday. Like, if Steve, Bob, whoever, Kyle needs something, their person goes and gets it for him.
Yeah.
That's really dependent on who it is, but, like, Steve, like, does things differently. So I think he got used to me being like his with him at all times, and I just like wanted to take something to the next level. Wasn't sure what it was, like whether it was more of a like bigger role with the whole business of the LLC or more of a character.
Yeah.
But it just didn't seem like that was gonna escalate at the
Okay.
time, and so that was kind of like a thing where I was like, I don't think I can do this for another 2 or 3 years because it's just a lot.
Yeah.
Like keeping up with somebody else, and Steve travels like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a lot to do without leveling up. Like
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Any way, yeah.
And I think that I understand it, but I think that his vision was like, dude, you're gonna be like my right hand with me wherever, forever.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that, but there's a point where it's like I want to do something more.
Yeah,
You
you
wanna
want to
be-
level up.
Yeah.
Well, you're
that's all it
in
is.
that environment. You're seeing so many things. You're seeing so many successful people, and you're probably inspired by it. You're probably like, I want to do this too.
Oh yeah. Oh
Right?
yeah. Yeah. Well,
And at
that's
that point, you're probably
It's funny because I always think about that. I was seeing the way that Steve lived life and like how he did shit, and part of me is like, fuck, I want to do some shit like that one day.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
bro. You can't
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't blame anyone for
No,
thinking that.
Nah.
It's a different
He
world.
does stuff some type of way, but it's he
was
does
there,
it.
was there anything crazy that he asked you to do? Like
Yeah.
what's the craziest thing, if you can even say it?
I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah,
The way your eyes were trying to go through like your
just
memories.
seeing all
there.
Well, no, I'm
moments.
thinking, but one thing that he did ask me to do when the first time he fucked with me, and this was probably the first time he put me in the video like this. I don't know if you guys saw this one, but we had just started hanging out with 6ix9ine and Murda Murphy,
Yeah.
and we were scheduled to go to Cabo the next day. So we went out the night before, had a great time. And then I woke up the next morning and Steve's calling me and I'm like, yo, what's good? And he's like, hey, you gotta talk to Murda right now. And I was like, all right, sure. And he FaceTimes me and I'm like, yo, what's up? And he's like, yo, bro, I got a little like record or history. I can't be seen with this shit.
saw this.
And he shows me he didn't show me what it was, but he had like a prescription bottle and he like throws that in there.
Yeah.
Throws in another one. Shows me like literally an airsoft gun.
Yeah.
Puts that in the bag. And I'm like, why are you showing me this?
I don't want to see this.
And he's like, well, you have to wear this bag into Mexico
Holy fuck.
because we flew private.
Yeah.
And he's like, you gotta wear this bag into Mexico and you gotta walk in with this
Were you
because
like,
I can't
fucked up
do
at
it.
that point?
Obviously, Steve's not gonna do it, and Danny 6ix9ine can't do it. But we need to protect him, and then I need to bring this stuff for other reasons, right?
Yeah.
And that was the most stressed out I've ever been because I didn't know them that well, like 6ix9ine or Murda. And Steve, at that point, I was like, fuck, he would have me do anything.
Yeah.
And I called John, I remember, and I was like, bro, I don't know if this is like, am I supposed to do
This
this?
is
Like, is
normal?
this required? Like, I'm freaking out right now. And he's like
Yeah.
calling me, or he's playing along. I think Steve knew I was going to call him, and he's like, yo, I don't have time for this. I'm dealing with all this shit right now. Like, don't waste my time with this. And then hung
Figure
up.
it out,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I remember we pulled up to the airport, and they had just fucked with me so much, and I was just like, fuck it, bro. Like, I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And they just gave me the backpack, and I just threw it over my shoulder, and
That's so savage.
yeah, I walked with the
savage, dude.
backpack, and on the plane, like, I'm sweating, bro. Because I'm like, yo, you're either going to look like a hero or you're going to be so fucked.
That's
Yeah,
one
you're
way or
done,
the other.
yeah.
Yeah.
But part of me was like, yo, if something does happen, I think Steve would, like, figure it out or, like,
Help you out.
Yeah,
Get you out
take care of
get
it.
you out of trouble.
which is stupid.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Just
That's
completely
absolutely
stupid.
fucked,
But
yeah.
you're at that point, you're just like, I gotta do what I gotta do.
Yeah,
you had
know?
crazy trust
Fuck
for
it.
him too. Yeah.
And then when we were on the plane, they said, yo, come over here. And they said, open the bag. And I was like, I honestly don't even want to see what's in there because I'm going to go through it anyway. And they're like, no, open it up. And then I think that one of them just unzipped it. And they're like, and I looked in and there was nothing in there. And I was like, what the fuck? And I just started looking for it. And then they're like, dude, there's nothing in there, you idiot.
Oh
and
my
I was just
God.
like, holy
A sigh of
shit.
relief for
Yo,
sure.
It was huge, bro.
Yeah.
That was probably the craziest test / thing they ever asked me to do.
Yeah.
But it was also them fucking with me. So
Fuck, bro, that's insane.
Yeah.
Listen, in terms of podcasting, obviously you do have experience. I didn't even know about that, by the way, but I do like the way that you hold your own in a podcast and you ask tough questions at times, and you are prepared.
yeah.
So, what does your preparation look like for a pod?
It depends on the guest, but for one, like, there's ones like Kodak, right?
Yeah.
And I love rap culture and rap music. Follow all the Instagram pages, like follow all the music albums, whatever's dropped. So those ones are a little easier.
Yeah.
And I'll just find out like where they come from, what they have working on, but I know a lot of their songs and where they come from. It's easy to like really talk to them, and then with artists, you kind of notice, you ask, like they're similar interviews. You know,
Yeah.
like where you're touring next, what's your favorite place to tour?
Yeah.
You know, like what's your favorite project you work on, like shit like that.
Yeah.
Ones like Elon and just random ones, Candace Owens, like it's where I really deep dive into.
Of course.
And just it kind of goes like with my history major. When I was in college, all I had to do was research. So I kind of just figured out how to like research and take what I have and just get like creative with it on asking questions.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so that's pretty much what I
That
do.
came
But
full circle, the
Yeah.
history.
I gotta ask about Elon though, bro. What was
Yeah.
that like? What was that like being in the room with a guy of that stature? It's stressful.
stressful
eh?
for the first 2 days, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, like that's when I felt like I was in my college days. Like I'm fucking like watching every interview he'd ever done.
Yeah.
Just reading up on anything that's relevant. But when we got that text, like I just remember I started freaking out because I was like, "Fuck!" Like we got to look good here too. And then Kyle too. Like we were watching YouTube videos on previous stuff that he had just done. Like you know, he does a lot of things where he's speaking to crowds, like informing them on what SpaceX is on. So we just watched all those.
Yeah.
And we knew, dude. Like we knew at the end of the day, like we do things differently, and like our goal was just like, yeah, let's just bro down with Elon. Like
That's what you guys did.
yeah, let's just talk to him like he's like one of us.
Yeah.
We're not guys that are gonna go in there and talk about what engine is in each rocket and get sophisticated. We're not space engineers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna go in there and just like shoot the shit. And I think that we did that.
Yo, he was
a great job
comfortable.
of
He was
executing
comfortable.
that.
It looked like from the outside looking in, the first maybe 10 minutes with him was kind of like
Yeah, it was definitely awkward.
And I think I think it was more of him trying to read the room,
Sure.
right? And I think if you're talking about calculated, that dude is fucking calculated to the second, it feels like.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he was just there trying to see like, okay, what's this vibe gonna be?
Yeah.
And then once he understood the vibe, then it just became, like you said, a bro down. It was just like,
Yeah.
you guys were
Well,
just shooting the shit.
You don't know what you're gonna expect. That guy's, in my opinion, he's the richest man, but I think he's like probably the most impressive human being in the world.
Yeah.
So you're sitting down with him and you're just like, you're intimidated because
Yeah,
you're also
of
like, this
course.
guy's so much smarter than us. Like it's
Yeah.
fucked. And then you have
I think you said that
a
before
million,
he came on.
yeah,
Like,
and
this
then
guy's
you
the
have
smartest guy.
tens of millions fucking people that are gonna be judging you and like saying what they want.
Yeah.
But
Everything about everything you say.
yeah, exactly. So it's tough, but we just go in. We went in there, dude, and like I thought we did a great job. We got him sit with us for 3 hours.
Crazy.
We had a basic conversation with him. You want to go see him talk about the other shit? Then every YouTube video you see with him, they'll talk about that deep shit. Go watch that. You
Yeah.
want to see him get out of like his
Be
comfort
chill?
zone and
Yeah.
chill with the boys, which is crazy to think Elon Musk is even doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you'd watch the pod.
Yeah. It's
So
facts.
I loved how it went, bro. Like
Yeah.
honestly.
I feel like after a pod like with Elon, like you could fucking conquer the world. You know, like you're like, I just talked to this
Yeah,
guy.
I
Like,
thought that
just
was
had a
gonna happen. I
conversation
thought my
with this-
DMs were gonna be crazy. Like
No, but it's even
No,
like,
none of
like
that happened.
it's like a different. It's not an easy thing to do. Like you said, like you're
Oh, no.
prepping for 2 days. Like no
Yeah.
one sees that part.
Yeah,
everyone
I
just
mean,
sees you on the pod.
That, with him too, his schedule's so sporadic. He gives you fucking 48 hours notice. It's like, yo, this is when I can do it.
I'm gonna be here at this time.
Yeah, and so we just flew there, and then we got
Got
to
it done.
Yeah,
How has it been? Like this is kind of off topic, but how's it been now being like really in the public eye? How has that changed your life?
it hasn't honestly changed much for me, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you might get like recognized in public sometimes, but to be honest, I like doing this shit because it's fun and it's entertaining,
Yeah.
and I don't really care for all the other shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate I like there's been a lot of people that supported me a lot. Like when I started the podcast, that really like hit different for me. So when I see stuff like that and support, that's different. But the public eye, like, people are gonna say what they want. You just
Yeah.
like, I do it, dude. I do this shit because it's fun, it's entertaining, and like
Yeah.
it's like special, bro.
Yeah.
It's very different. and
As long as
unique.
you like doing it, that's what
yeah,
matters, bro.
I love doing it.
And I
bro.
feel like man, you're a part of, I'm gonna say, history in a sense.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
the shit that you're a part of, the pod, Nelk in general, Full Send, the whole thing. Like people
Sure.
are gonna look back on this as like, bro, like, you know what I mean? An empire in a way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the fact that you get to play a role in that, Steve,
yeah,
Bob, still all of that,
yeah,
right?
it's
Like
crazy.
It's crazy, and that's in a span of what, 5-6 years, the whole thing.
3.
3.
Yeah, less,
Jesus,
less,
holy
less,
Yeah,
fuck.
a little less than 3. Yeah, it happened
Damn.
really quick, bro.
Yeah,
That's one thing I want to do too, is try and be in the moment a little more, because
Yeah.
things go really quick.
Yeah.
And then the public eye thing too is, I think Something that I've realized, bro, is just people like with the Andrew Tate. We did Andrew Tate, right?
Yeah.
And I like to go on there and say some shit that might be so crazy
Controversial, yeah.
or just controversial to get that guy going.
Yeah.
To like, because you got to provide entertainment, bro.
course,
Like,
yeah.
I don't care going on there and saying some crazy shit if Andrew Tate's gonna give us a reaction that
course.
he's gonna give us.
Yeah.
So I think people take that shit a little too serious.
Like, why
where
would
it's
you
like-
ask that?
Yeah,
And they
where
don't
it's
see the
like-
whole calculation.
No,
behind it.
it's
Yeah.
like, bro, like Andrew Tate got fired up when I said some shit like
Yeah.
that. Like, because I said something about like, I'd rather sleep with a chick that had 50 bodies than
yeah. Oh, I remember you said it. Everyone was like,
But bro-
everyone was like, wait, what?
because that's absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he gets fired up and he's like, you want a chick that had 50 dicks in her or whatever he said,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But that's what we want.
That's what
Yeah.
you guys
That's what I
wanted.
want is
Yeah.
to see him go.
You got
know?
the clip. You got
Yeah.
the clip.
I feel like a lot of the crazy reactions from guests come from your questions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like
facts.
straight up.
Yeah.
Facts.
Is there like a guest that you like really want to sit down with, someone in the world that you're like, yo, I'd love to fucking have a pod with this guy or this girl?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I mean, Kim Jong-un.
That would be
I know
Yo.
that's crazy, but like,
You guys
not-
talked about it. You guys talked about it in the.
it's like starting to fuck my head up because like I really want to do
Yo,
it.
I don't even think it's like impossible.
I
though.
don't either. I think
Yeah.
it's crazy to say that, but for some reason, I just don't think it's impossible. And I think that everybody thought Elon was impossible.
Trump this.
Trump, like,
Kim Jong Un is crazy.
it would just
bro.
be, and I'll tell you why. Because doing something like Elon is gonna shock, or like, shock the internet world in the country. But you do Kim Jong Un, like it's gonna shock the world.
No,
world.
that'll shock the world.
So it's something where it's like at a level of such craziness
Yeah.
that I would love to be a part of that and just feel like, whoa, I'm talking to Kim Jong Un, just to have that feeling, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it's weird, like adrenaline too.
Bro, if you guys pull that off, like I don't
Iconic.
even.
That-
Yeah.
Kanye is cool, and I really do like Kanye, but he's not like a dream interview of
No.
mine. Like
No.
I like doing like a Larry David or like Howard Stern or like just someone,
You were amped about Kodak though.
huh?
You were amped about the Kodak.
Yeah,
interview.
well, Kodak, I love Kodak.
Yeah.
Like I love his music, I always have. So that one was really cool for me.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've done guys like that, like Pauly D, even where like
Yeah.
Pauly D's a legend, and like he just turns out to be such a bro,
Yeah.
and you just get along with people, and it's just a cool moment, dude.
Yeah.
How is it behind the scenes with like these people? Like these are the top celebrities in the world. You know?
can really catch that vibe, like with Kodak. Like I kept joking, like, "Yo, we're gonna stay here," because I knew that once that interview was over, it was get the fuck out of my house.
yeah.
So it's like a thing where you joke about it, but
Yeah.
you can tell, like, you could tell in the first 10, 15 minutes, like, yo, they're gonna fuck with us after this,
Yeah.
or they're not going to.
I feel like that's the same. We say that too, right? Like,
yeah. You like even with Caitlyn Jenner, like I knew she was gonna fuck with us after. I knew Pauly D was gonna fuck with us after.
But you could tell. You're like halfway through the interview. You're like, all right, cool. We're like actually friends now, more
Yeah.
than just like this is an interview and we're out.
We always say that too. Like you leave a podcast being friends with the person because like
Yeah.
you
That's
just had
the-
an in-depth convo.
That's one of the coolest things about it, bro.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
just did Nav.
Yeah.
After Nav, we went to the weekend concert, which ended early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we hung out with Nav the rest
Yeah.
of the night, and he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
such a bro and so
Yeah.
cool. Like he's
Yeah.
he's hilarious. And
Yeah,
we're like
yeah.
hanging out with him like we knew him for 5 years.
Sure.
Yeah.
Canadian boy. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
but you talked to him for an
Canadian boy.
hour.
It's
So
nice
yeah.
to hear that these guys are humble, you know, like because like it's obviously easy to get caught up in everything and just be a fucking dick, you know.
I don't remember any guests that we've ever had on.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, was
That's-
anyone like surprising to you? Be like, oh, like I didn't get that.
I don't
vibe.
think so, man. Like
Yeah.
everyone that we've ever really done has been pretty cool.
I think it's the way you guys approach it too.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
are good energy, anyways, and you guys are chill. You guys
that's
get
the
them
goal,
comfortable.
just to get this person comfortable and like there's no pressure. Like we're just
Yeah.
there shooting the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
yeah.
that's really what we do. Yeah.
Do you ever we talked about I don't know if it was off cam, but people's comments. You stopped looking. You stopped looking at comments.
Oh, I mean, I was kind of joking, like,
Okay.
but about that, but people with the
do
Steve
those
thing.
get to you? Does that shit get to you?
I mean, I don't really care, bro.
Yeah.
Like because a lot of the thing too is like we're playing characters, bro.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
true.
Like
Yeah.
people, I think, gotta understand that the Andrew Tates of the world, like us, like even though everything you see with us is really what you're getting, but there's a lot of things that are exaggerated a little bit.
Of course.
You know, like me and Gabe, like we're not gay, bro.
That's a question
and
we got, by
that's
the way.
the only thing that gets in my head because I think that people are actually starting
People
to think that me and
actually
Gabe are
think
gay.
it. Yeah.
And we're not gay.
But you still can't even give a fuck, you know? Like, you
No,
still
I think
yeah.
it's funny, bro.
Yeah.
Like I play off that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's why I like
it's like
fuck around with
you
it.
guys are like a TV show at the end of the day. It's like you can't get mad at a character on a TV show or
Nah,
like,
bro.
you know, or
And
take
I
it
have to
too
tell you,
serious.
like, the thing that I realized too is because yeah, there will be people like that shit on me, whatever. But it's like, bro, I'm adding, like, whether you like me or not, it's more entertainment for you.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, what can, like, you sat down with, like, some of the top people in the world. At the end
Yeah.
of the day,
And then, like, Jake Paul, like, fucking tackling me, even though I was scared as fuck. Like,
yeah.
people loved that.
Yeah.
So it's
how was that?
whatever.
How was that prank?
Dude, it was fucked up because I know what's up now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not an idiot. I mean,
Yeah.
I am.
Like, were you like you felt? I don't know. I felt like you were sold on it.
Okay, so we went to that party. Well,
Yeah.
I wasn't going to go, bro. Like,
Okay.
I didn't want to go out. I was like,
Okay.
yo, I'm going to chill. And then Kyle got silent. And then somebody else started, like, talking, like, bro, you got to come. You got to come. So, it, like, made me think, all right, whatever. Like, you really want to come, I'll come. So, I went to Jake Paul's, and then,
You started getting
Kyle-
sauced, eh?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was taking shots with Steve.
Yeah.
Like, he came with us for the first time in a minute. And then Kyle kind of disappeared. Didn't think much of it. Thought, like, maybe he was talking to business with them or whatever. And then Julia Rose comes out. And, like, her and her friend are just, like, so, like, way too aggressively, like, want to hang out with me.
Out of
Where in the
nowhere.
back of my head, I'm just like, yeah,
What
okay,
the
something's
fuck's
up.
going
We
on?
got the camera going, like, yeah, something's up. And so she just starts feeding me shots. Like, so we probably took, like, 3 shots in, like, a minute. And I was pretty sauced at that point. And then she got, like, super flirty. But I know what's up, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I know something's good. And so I'll, like, fuck with Kyle and be like, yo, dude, like, you know, she wants me. I know she does.
You were killing me, bro. You were saying
that
that.
was fucking
You were
joke.
killing me.
And then she's trying to, like, change shirts with me, and she's in that crop top. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm not doing that. And then, but when Jake Paul tackled me and shit, then I was like, what is going on? But I'm also, like, pretty hammered. So I'm like, am I really hammered, or, like, are they fucking with me, or is this
Yeah.
real?
Like, what's going on?
Yeah. And so, no, it happened real quick. And then, you know, I knew that after it, like, didn't really dap him up, but I just knew, like, what they had done.
Yeah.
And I looked like an idiot. And then you're just like, all right, let's move on.
Yeah,
What's
keep
next?
it rolling. What's yeah. Party,
What's
let's
next?
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. No,
Yeah.
it was jokes. For the camera, it looked great. It looked real. I thought it was fucking jokes.
Yeah, man.
And you were killing me, but you're like, yo, I think she wants me.
Yo, that was
This
jokes.
guy
That
was
was jokes as
dying.
fuck.
Bro,
watching
yeah.
it,
I
bro.
mean, it's fun to be like that idiot, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Play the part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like playing the part. It's fun.
It's part of the whole character thing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we got some questions from the audience. We got to
Oh,
ask. all right?
shit.
These could get
How many?
fun.
1, 2, 3, 4,
About 4 or 5. 4 or 5
Do you guys
questions.
pick the best ones, or how do
Yeah,
you, what's the
yeah.
selection process?
We select them based on, like, you know, what kind of reactions we can get from you.
I think actually we got the most questions for you,
you
than
like,
anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't wait to hear these. I'm sure.
No, there's some obviously we didn't include.
Yeah.
But
But overall, like, dude, a lot of people had questions.
so we got one question here. I don't know if you're a Trump fan or not, but someone wants to know if you're going to be voting for Trump.
If he runs again?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends.
Is that your guy?
I like Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, bro, because I don't get too involved in politics.
Yeah.
But what I do get involved in is what Trump has done for us, and he's done a lot for Full Send for us, like
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Milk. And to be honest with you, bro, like that Dana White relationship has changed my life.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot of people's lives, and him and Trump are boys, and I fucking rock with Dana. So yeah,
All right,
Talk
boom,
about
stand
Dana a
up
bit,
approval.
actually. Talk about, like, that relationship with Dana and, like,
it's actually funny because something I should have mentioned is when we went to Abu Dhabi, and Bob had dipped. Dana came to my room, and he was like, "Yo, what's wrong with this guy? Like, is this real? Like, what the fuck is going on?" Because
Yeah.
he was so mind blown too.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yo,
Someone
I
would
just
leave.
gave you guys this opportunity," and I was like, "Dude, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I have to ask you something. If you were me, would you go join Nelk or would you stay with Bob?"
wow.
And he said, he literally said this. He goes, "Dude, these guys are fucking crushing it right now, and they're not showing any signs of slowing down. So
Damn.
I think you should rock with them."
And you're talking about Dana White.
I know, and when
saying
he said
this.
that,
You knew.
there was no thought
Yeah.
in my head after that. I didn't ask anybody else, and I said, "Yo, I'm committed to this."
That's all the reassurance you need, bro.
Jeez.
So me, with Dana, like, because every time we see each other, it's like kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we'll dap each other up, but then there's like that sense of like, this is hilarious. Because like,
we had that chat.
yeah, we had that chat. We went through he went through the Bob shit, and now like he's seen my whole story basically,
Like, the whole come
from
up.
where he from where he
Wow.
took it to. So
Damn. Okay, shout out Dana.
yeah, shout out Dana, and I
Okay,
love that
okay.
guy, man.
Here's the next one. Here's the
He's
next one.
he's a pretty good one. If you could go back to when you were Steve's assistant and you had to when you left Steve, would you change anything the way you handled that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. I think I would have like just sat him down. The thing with Steve is he doesn't want to do that.
He's want to sit down. And
Yeah, no, he doesn't want to talk to
He's
me.
like, what's he gonna
What the
do? Just
fuck's he
talk-
want to talk to
yeah,
me
yeah.
for 15 minutes, like one-on-one for, you know?
Yeah.
But I think I would have just really sat down and weighed my options and had a definitive answer.
Yeah.
And just said, yo, Nelk, or Kyle, John, this is what I want to do. Yo, Steve, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think the other way I would have handled it is, we have a guy right now who crushes. His name's Nelson, who helps Steve out. He is the fucking GOAT. But I would have just made sure that he had everything in place.
Before
where when I did leave, that transition for him would be smoother.
Yeah, he was set up.
We do have a guy who's good, but I want to make sure, like, yo, he has everything he needs before.
Yeah.
So that's what I would have done differently.
Fair enough, bro.
Okay, here's the next one. I got this. What's the dumbest thing you've bought or wasted money on?
It's kind of hard.
You do it all the time.
I mean, the dumbest thing, like, definitely jewelry is the dumbest thing I've ever spent money on. 100%.
Yeah.
And then just bottle service.
Classic.
Bottle
That's a
service is
classic.
everyone's list.
Bottle
That's on
service is
everyone's
the
list.
stupidest waste of money.
You wake up in the morning like, where did that $5
It's
grand
just
go?
waste of money.
Fuck.
And especially if you don't get laid that night, then it's an even
There's
bigger
a
waste
waste.
of money. Yeah.
Big waste. Tell us about the behind the scenes of Steve's world record spending at Walmart. What was that experience like?
Yeah, that was crazy. I think that was a video an idea he got from a fan maybe, which is a great idea, great title.
Yeah.
So
Is
we
that
knew.
usual, like getting ideas from fans, like if they
No,
send-
it's really not.
Okay.
But I'll tell you the secret. That video was so great too because it was a 1-day shoot. Like usually for Steve's videos, we would film 3 or 4 days to complete one video. That's a video you get in 1 day, and that just makes it easier for everybody involved. And so we went to Walmart, walked in there. We knew there was going to be an issue because you can't film in Walmart.
Yeah.
And so we went in there. I think I talked to the GM. Was like, yo, we need to make this happen. He's like, yo, the guy who's above me is about to come in. I think he'll be okay with it. And you think so,
Yeah.
but like we're also like, we don't have time to wait for that.
Yeah.
And so we go into the van and come back in the Walmart, and it keeps taking time, and then finally they're like, yo, it's not gonna work. You got to go through corporate. And you just feel defeated because you knew you were going to get this video. And Steve is so fucking sick. Like, I had 3 cars from a car dealership that while people were spending the most in Walmart, he was bringing people out that he was giving away a car to.
I remember that,
Just
yeah.
to
Fucking
add
crazy.
craziness to the video. And just add to the whole situation, which is, like, insane, but also awesome. But we go back in the van and we called Dana. And, bro, Dana was like, I got this. 5 minutes later, get a call. Yo, you guys are good to go.
Oh my
What?
god.
And so we walked into Walmart and just started filming. And basically, me, Selena, and someone else were just walking up to people being like, yo, go grab everything you can and get in line. Steve's going to pay for you. And
People were like, what?
it started out really like organized and calm, and then it got fucking crazy.
Once people found
bro.
out what was
It
happening?
got crazy, and it was really stressful. And I was feeling for the employees because you have like 3 lanes, and you have people that are coming through, and then you have people that start to get a little greedy, right?
Yeah, of course.
And they're fucking in line about to pay
TVs.
and still going out and grabbing shit and grabbing shit and
Yeah.
grabbing shit. And I used to give kids shit like,
Yeah.
I didn't care. Like, there's a fucking kid that has 5 Xboxes, and I'm like, yo, one of those is for me or for somebody else, because why are you buying 5 Xboxes?
Yeah, what the
Yeah.
fuck? I need 5 Xboxes for.
So that stuff, it happens, but you kind of just got to roll with
That's
it.
gonna happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Steve's
yeah.
goal is just like, I want to spend the most money, but you do start to see like families there that are like, fuck, like, let's make sure they get taken care of.
Yeah,
and then
they
there's
need
a
it
point.
more.
There's a point where you got to cut it off, right?
Yeah.
So there's those people that might not get to the point of getting paid for. They have all this stuff. So that was the only thing that I would say was like a negative, was just how do you tell people like, hey, like, no more.
Yeah.
And then people taking advantage, but like at the end of the day, we beat the goal, and we made a lot of people happy, and it was a crazy stressful video, but it was fucking like, it was dope.
Crushed,
Yeah,
it
no, it was
crushed,
crazy,
It
it was
crushed.
crazy.
Because dude, like at Walmart, you take care of a lot of people who need it.
Yeah.
Facts.
So
That's true.
that's the main thing. And then we gave 3 cars away to like 3 moms.
I saw that.
Yeah.
When
So
they were
it's
walking
just
out.
3
That was
dubs.
crazy.
Yeah.
Didn't even expect it.
Yeah.
They already had like 10 bags in their hand.
Yeah.
Like, here's a car.
I do wish Shaq would have
Yeah.
responded. Like, I don't know if he doesn't want to go spend that. You
Yeah,
think
why
he
did-
would?
why-
I thought he was gonna respond and be like,
I got you.
yeah, I got you. Or like, yo, good for you. Or
Yeah.
yo, I'm gonna go
He didn't say
beat your record.
nothing?
No, I was surprised by that.
It's all good. We'll get him. Shaq, come on, bro.
Come on, Shaq. You want to ask this last one?
All right. Well, no, there's also one after this. I think.
What, is this a hard one to ask or something?
No.
No, it's
This
jokes.
one's. I mean, we kind of spoke on it a little
You
bit,
did it.
but tell us more about your bromance with Gabe.
Yeah.
Fans love it.
I fucking hate Gabe. I fucking hate Gabe or I fucking love him. It depends on the day because there's the days where Gabe's either like, I'm doing something and he's fucking, yo.
Yeah.
Steiny's doing this, like telling on me.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
snitch.
he's
Okay.
Gabe, I'm calling you out. He's a snitch, but no, dude, we just started I just started fucking with him. Like, it's funny to me because, like, he is gay.
Yeah.
And so, like, I like to, like, pretend, like, and fuck with him. And people are going to say, yo, you're not pretending. Well, fuck you.
Yeah.
But people are going to roast me. But, dude, it's just fun to fuck with Gabe. Like, I don't know why. I just get, like, some sort of, like, satisfaction out of it. And it's funny as fuck to me. And, like, for the people out there that are shitting on me, Gabe has seen, like, I have some girls. And Gabe's always, like, flirting with guys, and it's just funny to me, bro.
Yeah.
Like Gabe's never like he should have a guy, but he doesn't have a guy, and so I just kind of like fuck with him off that too. Like I'll post stories like, yo, there's 0 chance Gabe pulls this dude, like shit like that. Like, it's funny, bro.
But it adds to the storyline.
It adds to the story, and then people are like, yo, you're jealous.
You created this whole thing now, and it's just based off like.
No, but
having some fun.
he's just one of my favorite people. He's by far actually my favorite person to do like Instagram shit with or TikTok shit and just fuck with.
But I feel like even like when he, like you said, like he's calling someone, he's like after having that chat with him, I feel like he has the best interest of full send at all times. Like
100%.
it's crazy, right? So it's
100%.
like even when he's doing that, he's not even. I don't even feel like he's trying to get at you. He's just doing it for the overall.
No, there's part of him that's
Is
trying to
he?
get at me.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
You
trying to
would
get at
know
me.
best.
Yeah, but no, he does have the best interest, and Gabe's been there when I've needed him. So I
Dope.
fuck
That's
with
good to
Gabe.
hear,
I got
bro.
Gabe's back.
We love
Even though
Gabe,
he is
bro.
a bitch ass, I got him.
Okay, we got one more question. I don't know if it's on here, but I think Selena had a question for you.
Oh yeah,
Selena?
she did. Yeah, she
Yeah.
did. She said ask him about when he used to be my assistant.
Oh,
Yeah.
did she actually write that?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And she actually
Wow,
put a
that's
crying
hilarious.
face, like a laughing face.
Yeah, no, I mean I touched on
You
it a
touched
little
on it a
bit,
bit, yeah.
but damn, that's those days are like 2.5, 3 years ago. I feel like,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
no, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But working with Selena's really dope, dude.
Yeah.
She's cool as fuck, like,
Yeah.
and she is, and like, she had something that was cool with her is we were doing like collab video or photo shoots with like Lana Rhodes, Riley Reid, Autumn Falls, like just the biggest names like on OnlyFans and in the porn industry and shit, and there was a lot for me to figure out ASAP.
Yeah.
So Selena would like tell me what she wanted to do, and she'd be like, "Hey, let's do like a Christmas shoot." So I'd have to find that location, find the props, find out how to get in touch with Lana Rhodes. Because at that point, I was only 2 months in, so I didn't want to have to go to Kyle
Yeah.
or Steve and be like, "Hey, I need your help with something." That was something where I was like,
Facts.
"I can show you that I can just do this without you."
Yeah.
It might be a lot harder, but I'm gonna get it done, type thing. But I had a great time with Selena, dude. Like, she was fun, funny, and like something about her too is there's a lot of people that are fake, and like especially when I think when it comes to girls,
Yeah.
but like she just keeps it so real.
And you
like,
can tell.
Yeah, she keeps it so real with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, she's never gonna like if she feels this type of way, you know it, or she just keeps it real. So
Are you surprised to see her crushing it now on
no,
YouTube?
not at all.
No?
No. She always wanted to do that.
Okay.
We
Did
did, yeah, we did some stuff like that for we did a couple vlogs. We didn't end up airing them, but like you could just tell, like,
Yeah.
you know, it helps too when like you're good looking and you're SteveWillDoIt's girlfriend.
Those are
That
two
gets you
great
out.
things.
That gets you out, like, you know, starts you out pretty hot. But she's funny.
Yeah.
And like she's dope. Like, Selena's a great person, so I'm stoked for her too.
Sick.
Her
All right,
channel
you hear
crushes
that?
right
I'm
now.
happy she
Yeah.
asked that, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, Selena, we got your answer. We got the
Yeah.
answer for you.
Now give him the real one.
All right, my bro.
No.
This is the final question.
break me, dude.
No. This is the
No,
easy
no.
one. This is the easy one. I mean,
This is
depends.
actually the easiest question we can ask.
We're the MBH podcast. Money buys happiness.
Wait, is this the end?
This is
This
it.
is the end.
We're rapping?
This is the wrap. This has been an hour and a half.
Yeah, we've been snapping.
Okay, good.
Money buys happiness.
Yeah.
Do you believe money buys happiness?
I honestly don't.
Okay. Explain.
I'm gonna tell you this. I think that, and I saw something like this the other day. There's two things, right? I think one thing in particular is that there's things around you that require money that's gonna make your life a lot easier.
Yep.
Like, if you're making more money, your rent's easier, your bills are easier to pay. Everything around you, in a way, is affected by money. But I think more money, more fucking problems, bro. That's something that I've seen happen to people, and you know, it just. I think money, when you start making real money, people start acting differently towards you.
True.
There's a lot of negatives.
Yeah.
I think from a financial standpoint, obviously life's gonna be easier.
Sure.
Right. But I think that's a really real test to see who really fucks with you and who doesn't. It's just when you start getting money, and I don't think it buys you happiness, but I think it'll make your life easier. I think you'll be a lot happier if you have money than if you have nothing.
Fair.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Speaking
Yeah,
facts, bro. Straight
we,
up.
we always say how you make it and what you do with it. Those are like the two big things.
But you're right. No one's ever said like the things that come along with it, right? Like
Yeah.
people, how they treat you now.
Yeah,
No,
no one said
things
that.
No
change,
one's brought
bro.
that up. That's crazy,
Yeah.
but it's true.
I've seen it happen, you know, and it really defines you see who your real people are once you go on that. There's like a thing where it's like people are always around when they need you, but when you need them, where the fuck are they?
Where are they? It's facts.
So
It's facts.
yeah,
I'm sure you're a little happier to have some money, you know?
yeah, it's been better for sure. Yeah, I mean,
Come
you
on,
know, it
bro.
makes
Look
life
at the
easier.
wrist. Look at the. All right,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, no, it definitely makes life easier. But I think at that end goal of you want to live a happy life, it's not gonna be the thing that gets you there.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I could agree with that.
Yeah,
Steins, bro.
bro, how'd I do?
Buddy.
You guys like this or no?
Yo, that was
everyone's
killer.
gonna
That
love
was
it, man.
killer. That was
Honestly,
killer.
we appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yes,
We've been
man.
seeing you kill it on the pod.
Yeah.
We've been watching you for a while, so this has been sick. Thanks for telling
Hell
your
yeah.
story,
Yeah, appreciate that.
answering everything. You know,
And we got to do better than your pod with Brad.
What do you mean?
Like we got to get higher numbers. Although
Well,
that's a tough
pick a
one.
One of them has
clickbaity
a-
ass title.
I think one of them has 1 million views, which is hectic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What did the second one have? It's like at
I don't-
4:30 or something.
No, they're
The
both
recent one
They're
is-
both.
That's the
fucking-
first time I ever went and told my story at all.
Yeah.
but
yeah.
This
No,
one was a way better version, way more in depth.
Yes.
Fuck Raw Talk. Fuck you, Bradley, you piece of shit. Pay me my $1,000.
Man.
Yo, if you made it this far, make sure
Yes.
you like, subscribe, throw a comment down there, please. Not a hate comment, but if it has to be a hate comment,
We'll
let
still
it be.
take it. Yeah,
We'll
we'll still take it.
We will take it. Steiny, we love you, bro.
Yo, thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you,
Appreciate
man.
this. This was
Appreciate it.
dope. Yo, thank you. All right, let's go.
And we are out.